Greetings. I would like to talk with you today about an issue that will soon be facing our school. As you've probably heard, the need for a new curriculum is imminent, and I would like to address you all first to give you some background knowledge about curriculum and how our school will go about making this change. What exactly is curriculum, you might ask? I would prefer to define curriculum broadly as the experiences of learners in our school district. Our curriculum should carry over K through 12, and the core values of the curriculum should be known by all staff within the building. Learning doesn't stop in the classrooms, and often some of the best social and emotional lessons can be learned outside of the actual classroom. I think that it's important to recognize this and therefore think of curriculum as a broad learning criteria that we can consider school-wide. There are many different approaches to curriculum that one can consider as well. When thinking about our own school district, I believe that the behavioral approach is the most appropriate for us. The behavioral approach formulates a plan and then steps to be taken to achieve that desired outcome. So essentially, when we're faced with a problem or discover something as our students are not achieving in a particular area once they reach the higher grades, we will establish a process to ensure that upcoming students will have the knowledge necessary to be successful in a similar situation. Excuse me. When selecting a curriculum, it's always important to first establish which process is most effective. I feel like Ralph Tyler, from a textbook I'm currently reading, summarized the most effective way the process for how curriculum content is established. First, the goals of the school are determined. So what it is, that we as a school hold in our mission or in our purpose. So in essence, he asks that schools would need to complete a needs assessment survey. Second of all, the proposed goals should be compared to our final philosophy of our own learners, so how it is that we feel like our students are learning. And then finally, learning experiences are selected based upon what those initial goals are, initial goals for teaching are, and what our beliefs are about how our students learn. When considering the core of the curriculum, there are many different factors that schools in general have to consider, and quite frankly, that we can't ignore due to educational law and mandates. There are inputs from research regarding how students actually learn best, what methods, what material. There are influences from our own teachers and what curriculum our own teachers feel like would suit our students best. There's also influences from our own school board and parents as to what they deem important in their child's curriculum. The federal government also recommends a particular set of educational standards, and this can be evidenced by their push for the Common Core. The local government has mandated that our curriculum must meet their established standards. They are not necessarily asking us to select a certain curriculum, but they most certainly believe that our curriculum that we choose has to have certain standards and teach certain material to our students. We also have pressures that students meet standards on state assessments. Finally, there are limitations to what budgets might allow and how packaged curriculums are already established. If a packaged curriculum is not chosen, then we as a school would have to establish something that's written very clearly as to what our curriculum would be and ensure that it's being followed with fidelity. There are many different influences when it comes to choosing the proper content, structure, and organization for an effective curriculum. When looking at the actual content that is selected in a curriculum, it's my belief that the most important for our own school are the following 4 traits. For one, I think significance is important. What this means is just that the content that we consider should contribute to the base knowledge students are required to learn for their grade levels. So part of that goes back to what our federal requirement is from our local government, that we have to have we have to be teaching our students certain information based upon their standards. Number 2, I think that validity is very important. And what that means is that the information that students are being taught is relevant and current, that we are not teaching them information that is outdated, or no longer important. Third of all, interest is very important to me and to our school as well. And that is that the material that is selected can contain, lessons that will maintain interest of our students. Finally, learnability, and that is that the content will be within the understanding of our own students and learning is made as easy as possible. As a future administrator, I believe it's important that teachers realize your training and knowledge of how students in our area learn best. When we do come down to selecting a curriculum, departments should be allowed to review curriculum material to ensure the goals are satisfactory and that our curriculum would match K through 12. What might be most effective is for a work group to be established who reviews selected curriculum and completes more in-depth research regarding the programs. This information could then be communicated to department teams who can then suggest pros and cons to the various curriculum. This will assist when community members have questions as well, and would ensure that each teacher would have insight into their own area of expertise and how the curriculum might match with the school goals and establish student learning styles. Excuse me again. I hope that you'll be patient with us in this process. I would like to see all of you have a say in the final choice, but know that likely not everyone will be happy with the selection. I know many of you have different backgrounds and philosophies of teaching, which makes it difficult when you feel you have to conform to one particular curriculum. We're also held to the choices that are made by the Board of Education. I also understand that this change is coming from your administrators and is not necessarily a result of your own concerns for a need for a changing curriculum. Changes in curriculum increase your need for planning and learning, none of which comes without contributing a good deal of time. Know that the changes that are being made are not easy, and the results are not always immediately evident. However, I ask you to please be patient with our process and know that you will be a part of a change that will likely reap benefits for not only the school, but for each and every student within our walls. Again, I really appreciate your time today. I hope you have a great evening.